Hello, this is Richie from the Metal Cell podcast. I'm delighted to welcome Danielle, Evan and Joe to the forums. How the hell are you?
All good.
Great seeing you, lads. It's been a bit of a while, hasn't it?
Feels like it, all right.
You know, a horrendous lockdown generally, hasn't it? This is the last bastion of the crack left in Ireland.
This podcast,
Yeah.
The crack is still going
And
on.
here we are upholding, drinking the beer culture.
And the water
Cheers.
culture.
Fucking Danielle, man.
this
that
time it
you were
actually
on
is
vodka.
water. That's the thing.
Yeah, it's
You
not
came,
vodka this one.
did we tell anyone about this? That like at the start of before we actually started recording, Danielle like had this like big pint glass. She was like, "Oh, I'm on the vodka," and like we were just laughing, thinking, "Oh, that's water," like, you know, whatever.
As
But
usual,
it was
it's water.
Yeah, it was a full pint of vodka, and to be fair to you, it was only you were absolutely fine, and then the second it finished, it's like the veil dropped. And you were hammered. I was like, I don't know how you managed to do that. And we were just like, that actually was vodka.
Unfortunately, all that ended up on the editing floor, you know, but...
I was fairly hammered all right that time. I don't remember the podcast, but I woke up with the fear the next day. And I texted Evan at 7 a.m, being like, did I make a fool of myself last night?
And I hadn't slept, and I was like, no, I made a fool of myself.
Jesus Christ, huh? These young people, Joe.
I know. You wouldn't catch us falling off chairs or accidentally.
Oh, really?
Fire. I can actually see a wee fire behind you there, Evan. So
Fuck me, he's picking up all the fucking scandal. Huh?
There's so much things they don't know.
So much
We'll have
shade
to
being
do
thrown.
Yeah, at the end of the year, you'll have to do like a reeling in the years kind of thing. It was like the time Evan nearly burnt his house down and fucking Richie fell off his chair.
I'm actually blushing here. Fuck's sake.
Anyway,
Anyway, so there's things afoot in the metal scene at the moment, and I suppose the one that's getting the headlines really is the All-Ireland Metal Project, which probably was got off to a bad start by everybody saying it was Roadrunner Ireland, you know. That certainly didn't help it, you know.
I think that was more just where the idea kind of came from. Like, I don't know if I haven't heard anyone kind of using that as a negative, but that would be the best kind of way to describe what the plan is like. Yeah,
Dara is heading it up, and I think he's a great guy to head it up, really.
Seems to be doing a fucking great job, Mr. Excel sheet, like.
Yeah, fact. Dara with Horrenda. He's got a great history behind him, recording and everything like that. So what it is people don't know is just basically any musician around the country can just join this project and submit music to it, and they're going to pick teams from all over the country, and once you get your team, you start creating music, and if you can, video some footage of it as well. We've been harping on about it for ages, that I'd love to see musicians in Ireland collaborate, so it's kind of fascinating the way it's going, and as I said, Dara's doing a champion job, kind of.
Yeah, he's doing a great job, to be fair.
Taking no shit and just saying, lads, this is the deadline, get your teams together, and that's what it needs, really, isn't it?
Yeah, I respect that a lot, because I think the idea itself isn't original, in the sense that I've had a conversation with like nearly half the musicians I know in the scene saying that, oh, I'd love to do something like that, but it's the whole thing of taking your finger out of your arse and actually doing it. And Dara did, you know, like he actually, like, even if there was people that would have been cynical to think, no, that won't happen. It's like, well,
fuck me, it's well on its way.
He's absolutely doing a fucking fantastic job on making it feel tangible, you know?
Yeah. No, there's 26 teams at the moment. That's the latest update. So that's 26 songs. I would be interested to see who's going to decide if the song is good or shit, you know? That's another side of it.
They should bring it to us. We'll do it.
Yeah.
Your song's shit.
It's all black metal, and I'll just scrap the whole thing.
It'll be like the Metal X Factor.
I think
there you go.
The thing that I'm kind of like interested to see is, like, there's good and bad with it happening during lockdown. Like, the good is that, you know, people have the time to do it.
Yeah.
The bad is that, like, you know, getting into an actual studio, or kind of, you know, if they got funding for it, to do it in studios, to have kind of a level of quality that everyone can kind of have. But because everyone's doing it at home, everyone will have varying levels of recording equipment and
Great
stuff.
point,
So,
yeah.
you know, I'm looking forward to seeing what kind of way that will come out. I presume a lot of it's going to be program drums, but I mean, it is what it is. Do you know what I mean? Like, I know Dara plans to get them all mastered together in the same place, so there'll be some kind of semblance of uniformity, if that's a fucking word, to it. But even, you know, with getting this out and whatever way they're recorded, or whatever kind of recording level that it's all at, I just think once this gets out, there could be a fucking second one when everything opens up, and I feel like this will get a lot of people that, you know, didn't want to go near it or didn't want anything to do with it, that once they see that it is capable of being done, that if they do a second one, then you're going to get even more people, and you might even get studios that are like, here, we'll give you a decent rate if you want it, like, you know, for a couple of days, or, you know, like, give some kind of bundle kind of thing, and you could do a
especially if it's for charity or something like that. I think that would be the big thing, isn't it? It's like so much you can do, as you were saying, Evan, at home these days, you know. But yeah, like, you do want a studio where you could do mixing and mastering, or, you know, drum tracks and stuff.
Well, this is the first one that they're doing now is for charity. I don't know, have they been nominated? Is it PETA?
I think so. Yeah.
Good on them.
And like,
fair play to them, man.
You've got the likes of Olga Kuzmenko as well, offering to do a music video for one of the tracks. Kelvin offered to design the album cover. Do you know?
It's a great collaboration of all of the metal community coming together, so it's fantastic to see it, really, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely.
And something in these kind of trying times. But you know, it's something for musicians to look forward to as well, like, oh, class, I'm getting some bit of a buzz going, which is great, like, fair fucks to them.
Yeah. There's only so much people can be cynical. Like, you know, when I saw it first now, I'll be honest, I was like, I don't know if this will actually happen, but that was kind of squashed fairly quick by, you know,
structure he has. He's a framework and a structure in there.
That's it, you know, and I think it takes someone to actually, to really just fucking be like, lads, this is doing it. And the fact that he's put the deadline for July is just, and he seems to be very like, if you don't get it in, you don't get it in. I'm sorry, you know, and that's the way to be, because if you're given a week extension for one, you're going to have to give it for another. And so then if 1 week, why doesn't that turn into 2 weeks? And then that's where you get into this thing of, you know, people will, if he keeps giving extensions, and then people can start practicing and doing stuff with their own bands, other things will take priority. So I think he really does have the right idea, being like, if you're serious about doing it,
and you know what? If you're a team leader, the onus is on you to get your shit together, because, like, I can imagine that it would be embarrassing if your team doesn't fucking produce the goods and doesn't make the deadline.
And let that be a lesson to anyone being lazy on it.
So we will move on, and best of luck, lads, with it. And we're all rooting for you. And fuck it, we're only too glad to promote it here. So we have 5 tracks to go through, and they were all really impressive. And the first one we will go with will be Faroon, and it's the opening track of the Relapse EP. And a big shout out to John Murphy, who's done so much this year with the Grief and Faroon. So he says he's currently the sole member, actually, of the band, just because of COVID and stuff. He completed a home studio, and he began to refine and record songs intended for Faroon and also the Grief. So he recorded 8 Faroon songs in the barn and split them in 2, which is cool, because basically he's been on our minds for the whole fucking year.
Yeah. And
this song you're about to hear is off, as I said, the second EP, and it's called Devout, and we'll give it a spin here. Hopefully you can hear it, yeah? Okay, Ev, we'll start with you on this one, if you don't mind.
Yeah, not a bother. It's a really cool track. Sounds great. You know, everything played on it is great. My only thing is, when I was listening to it first, I didn't read the blurb. I just wanted to kind of listen to it, and the first thing I thought was like, this. It seems like not a standalone track. It seems like it is an intro to an EP or an album, and that's what it is. My only thing is that I probably wouldn't have chosen this as like a standalone thing. Keep in mind now, I haven't heard the rest of it, but it does sound like an intro to an EP or an album. It sounds great, don't get me wrong, but it doesn't. It's. I think it suits being an intro to an album or an EP, but I'd like to hear what else is on it. That's more of like not, you know, a song, but I think it's just missing that structure to it, where it is just kind of like, it's only like a minute and a half, maybe 2 minutes as well, isn't it?
Minute 45, I think it is.
Yeah, like it's great, full of energy, and I think like having another thing come straight into it would be great. I just don't think it would have been the right one to pick for a review. Like, yeah,
but why I picked that actually was not only it's the intro, but it's very unusual insofar as the kind of Gregorian chanting.
Yeah,
that makes it.
It is great. Do you know what I mean?
That was really cool.
Really good.
Yeah.
I just not sure if I would have picked that as the standalone one.
Oh, thanks.
Like you absolutely goosed for Ruin there. Like,
yeah. You made them live up to. You literally put them up for Ruin.
Throws it up and she smashes it. Go on, Danielle, what do you think?
I thought that was fucking deadly. I really enjoyed it, and as well, like when it kind of just ends. I was driving when I was listening. Well, actually, no, I was the passenger while I was listening to it, and I was like, "That's the fucking end." I think it's great as an intro because it just leaves you wanting more. And yeah, the chanting in the background. And now that you say that, like he's a one-man band, I'm wondering, was he like just sitting at home just going,
in different rooms? Yeah, he did a great job in that, to be fair.
Yeah, I really can't wait to hear more of that now. Deadly.
Well, it's out at the moment. Joe, what do you think?
Yep, pretty good. And these guys have been on the go for donkeys and donkeys. Like I remember,
yeah, they have.
I'm not sure if we played with them, but I certainly remember back in 2003 or 4. You know, them being around and stuff. So it's brilliant to see they're still going on in whatever incarnation. Yep. And like brilliant guitar playing and really cool bass. I think the Atmos was really, really cool in it as well. And they're probably, you know, the way like there's these bands in different corners of the country, like they'd be the kind of probably one of the oldest bands in Cork who are still knocking on. So
definitely, yeah.
Fair play.
I think I'd seen them in the zoo in Kilkenny at some stage years ago as well. I must have, yeah.
But yeah, good band. Fair play to them.
Yeah, cool. That's a big thumbs up from us all then. Okay, the next track is from a band called Cynic Cult. Shout out to Shay for giving me the track. So it says Cynic Cult are an alternative hard rock metal duo with music and vocals by Shay and vocals. Sorry, I'd say that's music by Shay and vocals by Tommy Duffy. And the track is Intimator. Intimator is the first official release with Tommy on board. It was mixed by Shay and mastered by Josh, who always comes up on the show. Big shout out to Josh. The band have a series of releases on the way, and the EP Triad is coming up next. So I'll give this a spin. Okay, cool. Joe, do you want to take this one on?
Very atmospheric kind of stuff again, really. I think the interesting thing about a lot of melodic metal like this is you end up hearing a lot more kind of diverse vocals than you would in other sorts of styles of metal. So while I probably wouldn't be a huge fan of a lot of that kind of stuff, pardon me, I think the vocals are really, really interesting. Actually, this is one of those bands that I probably would not really even peg as metal. I can hear a lot of sort of like UK, nearly Britpoppy indie sort of melodies and stuff in it. But
it's there in the background, yeah. I picked that up myself, yeah.
So it is again. I think the difficult thing is with bands like this, so is trying to reach, your target audience. Because it's like if you're trying to play underground metal, there's a very obvious connection to underground bands in Ireland or whatever. Whereas whenever you're really aiming for something that's very broad and is trying to appeal to a whole bunch of people, it is definitely a lot more difficult to try and to reach them. But yeah, like definitely very professional sounding anyway.
I think it was really catchy as well. That chorus is excellent. I don't know, it wouldn't appeal to me normally, but Jesus Christ, I was just actually humming it there before even the show started. There's just, I don't know what it is. It's a really strong melody, and the chorus and the vocals really work well. I was thinking these lads could just get on a tour with Rest of Nation there, and they'd fit in right away. Danielle?
Yeah, again, like it wouldn't be my kind of thing, but Jesus, like they're all really talented musicians. Everything was really top class, and I think, as Joe was saying, like there is like a very specific type of people that listen to that type of metal, and I think they do quite well. Like like Finland and those type of areas are really into that kind of that type of metal.
Symphonic,
atmospheric, that kind of, and Jesus, the vocals were really good as well. So it wouldn't be for me, but definitely like really interesting band,
Ev?
I actually really, really liked it.
Really?
Yeah, I actually.
No,
I actually didn't think I would like it either. I don't know why. Not that I wouldn't like it, but Shay, when I was in Chemical Addiction, we used to play with his band Marabou, and Tommy I've known for years as well from The Grudge. He's like he's the singer in the Tool tribute
band. Oh.
Yeah, so I had a feeling it would sound a certain way, but I was actually blown away just by the actual production and honestly just the songwriting in it. It's a lot maturer sounding than I thought it would be. As mature a song could sound, but I think it was very focused on its layers rather than trying to just throw in riffs, which was actually quite refreshing. Like I think when I listened to it, I think the only really thing that I could think was maybe the mix if the vocals could come up a slight bit, but other than that, man, they did a great job. Like, and it sounds great. Fair play to Josh. I'd love to see it live. Like, I really, really would love to see it live. I don't know how hard it would be to replicate it the same way.
And do you think that's a drum machine, Evan?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Okay,
definitely
another. Yeah. So they've an EP coming out, Triad, and as I said, big shout out to Josh for doing a stellar job, and thanks again to Shay and Tommy. Okay, next track is Strangers with Guns. No strangers to the show, bada boom. Big shout out to Jeff, Ricky, and Paul. The track is "Fuck the American Dream." It's a great title, and they have a follow-up album wrote, so very interesting, or written. And
I turned into my mother.
Okay, so here we go with Okay, Danielle, do you want to take this?
Yeah, I thought it was class. I was a bit worried because I was like, God, Disenfranchised Fetus was so good. How are they going to follow it? But no, it was class. I don't know if you heard kind of a bit of System of a Down in there, even with the title. I thought it was great, and I like how Jeff does the kind of half-spoken word thing. I think it's really unusual, and I don't think there's a lot of people doing that.
I think he's on a winner with that.
Yeah, and he's great lyricist as well. Evan, I don't know if you picked up the drums were class. I really enjoyed the drums. You know?
Yeah, they're great. They're programmed as fuck, but they're great.
They're cool, like they're enjoyable, like but big thumbs up for me anyway.
Joe?
I thought it was pretty good. I don't know if I would really describe it as grunge, kind of though. Like the bands that I definitely thought came to mind was Monster Magnet and Zeke.
Yes,
definitely, and maybe that's because of the singing and the guitar tone, but it sounded pretty heavy and crunchy. So definitely really cool. And again, really class to see someone doing something kind of cool and different vocally, isn't it?
Yeah.
So thumbs up for me.
They really fucking have knocked it out of the park for the last year or so. They've definitely come up a lot of times in conversation, and we fucking love them on the show.
They're doing unreal with social media as well.
They're
like every time
I up today, 12,000 likes on Facebook.
Unbelievable.
What, really?
Yeah, I saw that today. I was like, what the fuck?
They're doing like whoever does their social media. I'd say it's Jeff does such a great job because everywhere I looked, that single was on my social media. Like
I was the same.
And it seems to be getting picked up by a lot of. It seems to be getting. What am I trying to say? It's getting talked about a lot.
Thank you.
The water, man. The water. I'm so hydrated. I'm hydrated right now.
My pores are so open right now.
Oh, whoa.
Evan?
Yeah, I really like these guys. Yeah, fucking great track. Again, they still have, to me, Joe, I know you're saying it's not grunge, but when I was thinking grunge is more like, you know, Melvin's Jesus Lizard kind of like actual grunge, like, you know, rather than a more polished kind of thing. But I really like them. The only thing in the track that fucking pisses me off is, you know, when it actually fully kicks in, it's like they put like an 808 boom. So when it kicks in, the volume kind of comes down and then comes back up. I don't know if you noticed that, but
no.
Like when it fully kicks in, it just goes down for a second and then comes back up. I don't know why that wasn't like.
Do you think that's a mistake in the studio or something? They might have.
I don't know if they tried to put like a boom on it to try boost it coming in, but that will happen sometimes when you use that. It's like boom. And then
a lot of those tracks were demos, and I know Jeff was that he actually couldn't get near the studio, so maybe
they were done at home, alright, but they're fucking great. Like the songs are so good. The other thing is I was listening today as well, so I went onto their YouTube page and they have some great stuff there, like but there's a video that I saw on Instagram like months ago there was a lad playing acoustic saying like, oh, this is how you write Fontaine's DC song, and I thought it was hilarious. Turns out it was fucking Strangers with Guns. Like friends of mine had shared this being like, oh, this is hilarious, and then I found it on their YouTube thing, so it's weird the way it comes back around to it. You should watch that. It's fucking hilarious. It's so true.
Actually. I was actually, you know, as you were saying, Danielle, there was such a really good social media campaign around the song. I was actually expecting a fucking video with the song, and there isn't.
I'm nearly convinced I saw one. Like
I thought there was too. There was clips of like these old 1960s or 50s clips.
Yeah, that's why I went to the YouTube thing today, being like, there was definitely...
The YouTube. What do you do? The YouTube. All right, 31-year-old Evan. The YouTube.
Yeah, I'm nearly in a new age bracket. Like, you couldn't tell. You couldn't tell my maturity.
But like, and you know what as well? Short and simple, man. It's fucking cool. Fucking 5-6 minutes. It's just bang. There you go.
Like
There's the riff. great fucking riff, and I just love the way he delivers it as well. So
do you know what it is? It's they do simplicity. Something that I've always been so for is like not to have everything super simple, but they really do nail it. That there's just a certain vibe with something that's simple, that you're not overcomplicating. You're just taking it for face value, being like, this is a good riff, this is a solid groove, these work together. Yeah. There you go. Just enjoy it. You know, you're not trying to write a fucking thesis here.
Yeah, and as I said, and keep it short. I like it fucking short songs as well.
I like it short.
So the next band is Blurred Reality, and the track is The End of Attrition. The band started with Cameron and Rory going to the same school, and quickly became friends through their interest in music. They began jamming together through a music program called Beginners to Band in Armagh. I don't know, did you hear about that 5 years ago, Joe? So
how did that get past you, Joe?
Been on the toilet.
I missed that call.
So in 2018, they decided to call themselves Blurred Reality, an inside joke and a nod to Cameron's condition, which is albinism, which results in having poor eyesight. I love this, fucking classic. Oh man. So Rory just posted an ad on social media and see if they could get a bass player, and they did, and Kruget Stallions said he'd play bass. Don't ask me, man. So the debut so End of Attrition became the debut single, and you're about to hear it here, and tell me what you think. Joe, what you think?
Yeah, very good. For such young guys, amazing to see them being able to play so well together, you know. And watching their video and stuff, they definitely have the chops, you know. So really, really impressive. Don't know really what to add. Again, they're just up the road from me here, so it just makes me think how old I am whenever...
How easy they can get to you and kick your head in if they...
wee lads. But you know what I mean? It's one of those things that, there could be this amazing band from around the corner from you and you wouldn't know about it because you're not young and don't know what the kids are into. But, yeah, really good. Class guitar solos and good bass playing and brilliant drumming as well. I was actually surprised that the drumming was as busy as it was. It was nearly very Lombardo-y in places, you know. So, and he looks exactly like the dude who exploded in Spinal Tap. You know, this dude with glasses. So
I didn't actually see the video. I just heard the song, so I'll have to check that out.
But yeah, that would out of all the bands we've been listening to today, this would probably be my fave. It's very crunchy.
Okay, yeah. Did you not think that it could have done with a bit of editing just
As in
reduce the
the
length of
song
time.
itself in terms of arrangement. I don't know. It's one of those things, isn't it? Like where I suppose whenever you're going for melodic choruses and stuff like that, a lot of bands what they want to do is try and make it as a broad, like have as a broad appeal as you can, really, on the choruses. So they're like, let's show people that we also have, you know,
This element to us, like
skills and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And like it's one of those things. The older bands get, sometimes they'll end up going completely in one direction or completely in the other. So, like again, it's just really impressive to see people making good demos as kids. Like I know that whenever I was fucking 19, our demos were fucking horrendous. Like, you know.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Danielle.
Our songs are still horrendous. Like.
Yeah, no, I thought it was impressive. I could totally see them being on, like, you know, those butt rock radio stations. You know, the ones where it's, no, like it's like, you know, here at K-Rock where we play nothing but rock. That type of thing. I think they'd go down really well. Like you see those American festivals where there's like, I don't know, like Avenged Sevenfold, Skillet.
So what you're saying is they sound all right.
What? No,
they sound like they're on their alt right.
I think they're doing really well, and they should keep it up. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, no, very impressive, especially for young lads. Well,
musicianship is fucking nuts.
Yeah,
so it's like so good.
Yeah, so definitely keep it up.
I think that's probably something that I think is like part of the big step up, is that, you know, now people can get really good by, you know, playing really accurate tabs and YouTube and playing along with Songster or Guitar Pro and stuff, or learning stuff on YouTube. Whereas, like, I'm sure you guys would remember what it was like. You know, whenever you got like the music book for Ride the Lightning, you were like, well, I can't read music for a start. You know, I don't know how to play all this. It's not any
0,
easier.
1, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 2. Cool, I got this.
Yeah, it's a great point, Joe. Evan, what do you think?
Yeah, fair play to them. I think it, like, fans of Trivium, I think would really, really go for this.
Yeah, I was actually thinking the same thing.
There's, you know, those choruses and stuff. It wouldn't be something I would listen to, but, like, you know, fair play to them for, you know, having the ability to write that way as well. You know, and I'm liking the way they're just kind of doing whatever it is they want to do, you know, because a lot of heavier bands now would, like, very much shy away from a chorus like that, or they, like what Joe was saying, or they do all of that kind of chorus. So it's nice to hear a mixing. Like, I think Joe was right in saying that a lot of bands can be like, well, people like when we do this kind of thing, so we're just going to take this turn. But it's nice to see that they're, like, in this middle ground of having whatever they want to do, and fair play to them. Yeah, like I think would definitely appeal to a younger crowd.
Yeah. And again, you'd wonder what they'd be like live as a three-piece. Can they carry that off? You know. So we'll wait and see.
Big sound for a three-piece, really, isn't it?
Very much so. Yeah.
Did they like? They didn't go into a studio and record them drums. They're programmed as well.
Oh, well.
They're definitely.
Yeah. I wouldn't be 100% sure about that, dude. I think to me it sounds like the tom, the snare are like triggered, but like I think that there's definitely, like, watching the video, I think your man has got the skills to play the part. So
I wouldn't be doubting anyone's skill because I didn't even see the video. But Jesus fucking Christ, that role. Just to have it all, like, everything is just as heavy hitting as, like, fucking fair play to him, like.
On about videos, the next band is from France, and it's Brute. And shout out to Theo, Clement, Luke, and Julien. The lads have released a new album. It's called The Machine is Burning, and now everybody knows it could happen again. So this is the title track of it, and be interested to see what you think of it. Okay, Ev, over to you.
I'm trying to remember from school how to say this in French, but it's
Say magnifique.
It's le fucking class. This I think honestly, out of any song we've gotten to review ever, this fucking blew me away. There's a video that we got to review with it, and they're playing it in a church, and the sound they have, the vibe, the whole thing is like 10 minutes long, and I was just glued I finished it and watched it straight away.
Yeah.
I can't say enough good things about this. It's fucking class. Like today alone, I think I sent it to like 20 people. Unreal. Like I can't say enough good things. It's with the strings as well. It's got that kind of overhead the albatross sound to it. I was saying earlier that I don't want to just throw Mogwai in because it's kind of like a post-rock thing, but you know, they have that Russian Circles vibe as well, and they're just fucking savage.
Yeah,
I could just repeat savage over and over again. That's like, you know,
it's this very much a wall of sound as well. And for me, it just connected on an emotional level that never has hit me so fucking hard in a long, long time. And again, that was me watching the video sober. And just the way that it was the last thing I was expecting right through, and just the combination of the organs, the whole way it was filmed and everything, and I just went, holy shit.
I think the video is a huge part of it as well. You know, like when I was sending it to people, I was just watch this video. Like it's a whole, you're getting every sense apart from smell, obviously. Like, but
and it's a 4-track LP, so you know, trying to isolate one track when the 4 songs work so well together. They're all around 9 minutes in length.
I would genuinely travel to go see them. You know, like I'd go over to France.
Well,
I'd go anywhere now,
the good news is they're keen to come to Ireland, so
that was fast.
Yeah.
Give me a ring.
On a metal Hellfest in Richie's back garden.
We'll keep bringing it up, Joe.
Until it happens.
No pressure. Joe, what do you think? What do you think, Joe?
It's very atmospheric. You can definitely, you can really hear French bands a mile off like this, because there's always a really cinematic vibe about stuff like this. They're clearly big fans of stuff like John Carpenter and that kind of thing. So there's a really big picture, and I think that's probably one of the, I don't know, whenever you listen to things like Yes or whatever, or things that tend to have really big scope, or I think I wasn't really feeling it with this. Like I felt like you needed the video. Like whenever you're watching the video, it kind of made sense. Whereas I think like just listen to it, there are parts that are too ambient for me, or maybe not even that they're too ambient. It's that it's very front and center, the organs and the cello or whatever, that kind of thing. Whereas I thought that the metal band or rock band in it sometimes was a wee bit too lost in the mix, you know.
Yeah, but
like
it
didn't sound very
tracks aren't too rocky either, you know what I mean?
I listen to a lot of stuff like that, and it is like it's a lot of songs like with that kind of style. It's songs they're just crescendos, like so it's always, you know, and like when that
they're an instrumental band as well, by the way.
Yeah, that's it. Like, but there's just when you hear that first, like when he has the ride, but he has his strings on the ride.
Yeah,
just that sound when he first hits it and then goes back playing softly, just fucking.
See, that's the thing for me. It was like I thought that like that was probably the thing I didn't like. I thought the bass was cool and stuff, but I thought the guitars and drums were a wee bit too. I don't know. Like to me, it really seemed like I could hear loads of Blade Runner and hear loads of John Carpenter kind of thing, and then everything else seemed to be a bit of an afterthought. But
I think it's more of a tribal thing. Like it's not like I listen to that kind of stuff a lot, so I think it'd be easier for me to defend it.
Yeah.
But it is like a common thing to kind of have it, you know, to have your bass line. Like some of those songs could have the same like actual bass line throughout the whole thing, and you're adding a layer, it's getting bigger and bigger, and until you come.
Danielle?
Yeah, I'm all about that big build up for for tunes. I loved it. The only thing I thought that was missing was drugs, to be honest.
I would be the same, and I just thought I couldn't actually listen to this stone because I'd fucking get a whitey.
Oh no,
Oh,
you take shrooms.
It'd be
Take shrooms
just
for that now.
fucking-
Take shrooms for that.
Too much.
Yeah.
Too much
I can't
altogether.
listen- I can't listen to anything when I'm stoned. I can't smoke for shit anymore.
But no, it was absolutely unbelievable, I thought. But yeah, again, I'm all about that build up and just sitting there pure like, oh, class.
Yeah.
It's unreal. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I sent it to a friend of mine who isn't into metal, and
Cried.
like she said she listened to it in 3 times, like within one after the other. And her words are, "My God, where did you find it? My brain is scrambling with excitement and its speechlessness. As for the motions, rattled."
Do you think a band like that would go down well in Ireland? Like, you think?
100%.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah. Definitely. There is a huge following for
Post metal.
that. That
well.
post metal, post rock kind of thing. Huge following for it over here.
I would say stuff like this would do really well
anywhere.
like at Witness or Oxygen or whatever. You know, I don't think that, like, as well as you could see this going down well at the Siege or whatever, I think that it is
Maybe Electric
like,
Picnic, Joe, more so than Witness. I don't think Witness is there any longer, is it?
God,
I've never heard of Witness.
It's definitely
Jesus,
not.
no,
Like,
it's
Sake,
definitely
Joe.
not.
Jesus Christ, almighty.
Yeah.
Oxygen's gone too. Like,
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
I've been in this room for too long.
Lockdown started in 2000 for Joe. For Joe.
He does FaceTime a bit, you know.
Did you hear that new Wilt song?
I actually haven't.
Heard about this class new band called Curb Dog?
Yeah, Joe, I hate to break to you, Kurt Cobain died as well, man. Sorry to say
no.
that.
Yeah, the lockdown started in 2000. He had the 90s. Like.
Okay, so listen, brilliant tracks. Really, we went through 5 there, and every one of them massive thumbs up. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Fair play to all of them.
yeah. So keep it coming, lads. Send them into the
coming.
metal cell, and Evan, what's with the sexual connotations? Fucking
It's the hair. Like, it's now he's got a sexy hair and he's been trapped inside. He's like,
Yeah.
need to let the ladies know that I'm available. And
No, it's only eyes for you, Joe.
careful.
Whoa.
So I want to give you a big shout out to Danielle's husband, imagine, Pete, for coming up with the topic of tonight, and it's one-hit wonders of metal. So we will broaden it a bit insofar as that it doesn't have to be necessarily a single. You know, it might be an album. The band might have produced another few albums after that, but for one period in time, they were in the charts.
I literally just thought of one right there and writing it down. Literally, I was like, oh.
Well, let us...
Gamma bomb. Sorry.
we had a hit.
Jesus, this is a salty episode.
Oh,
God.
that was a dig back at the hair, Joe. You mocked his hair, man.
He gave
Losing her over the comments like that.
Okay, Danielle, kickstart the show.
Oh God,
or
I've
the
got so
topic.
many of them here. Sorry, I'm just jotting down another one. I'll start with the one I just thought of. Sonna. Do you ever remember them? And they had that tune. It was played in Kerrang loads. The tune was I'm Not Trading. And the album was called 1 Minute Science. 1 Minute Science. You ever heard of them?
No.
I don't think
I've
so.
They were really
Maybe-
big.
Maybe
Did you
if I
hear
heard
them,
the actual
Joe?
song.
Yeah, I've heard of them.
Yeah, they were, and they had another tune as well called Power Struggle.
But
And
what kind of music were they? Like, is it kind of...
industrial kind
Okay.
of.
Hum
They're
it for
from,
us there. Sing
they're-
it to us.
no. They were from Birmingham, I think, actually.
Oh, right,
And
okay.
I think they had like 3 albums altogether, and just never.
And what were they called?
Sunna, Sunna.
Wow,
Sonna.
okay. Haven't
Yeah,
heard
they
of
were
them.
there. Yeah, no, they were played in Kerrang loads. But
What time period are we talking?
I'd say like early 2000s. Yeah,
Okay.
early 2000s. Because
Yeah,
my
a lot
dad,
of
my
the
dad.
bands that I think are around
Yeah,
that time.
I think-
one-hit wonders that went straight to that. Era,
Yeah, I think myself and Evan probably have a lot of the same.
like. Yeah, I have a feeling
Same
you will,
ones
right?
here.
Yeah.
But yeah, that one just came to me there, and I definitely recommend checking out that album. Is great. Heavy Out. So yeah, Sona was my first one.
Okay. I'm going to put one straight out. Black Betty by Ram Jam.
Yeah,
Oh,
what
that's a
did they?
good
I
one.
don't really know any of the other tunes. Like,
No,
was
I
'cause
did
of-
buy their album, and they're fucking seriously talented guys, talented
I
musicians.
don't think I've heard any other song actually. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
I've heard that song played in Oliver Plunkett about fucking 500 times.
I'm
like.
sure fucking going to discos back in my
Yeah.
time, that was the song to end the night, you know? And we all
Yeah.
fucking down our knees, frantically playing air guitar to Black Betty.
Great song.
Yeah.
Really,
great
really,
song.
Great song,
really good
yeah.
You
song.
know, drumming wise, it's super easy with vocals, but if you try play along to it with no vocals, it's so hard to get lost.
Really?
I don't know what it is about it, but it's just fucking weird that I think like the like it's not like in just 4 bars. I think there's like 1 bar extra. It's not changing the time signature, but just going like for an extra bar before something comes in. It's only when you like, 'cause it sounds so simple, but there's just something fucking weird about it. Like,
Yeah, like
or
to
it's
come
like
out,
shit.
but like to come out with a song like that, and then you kind of go, holy fuck, they probably have a rake of great stuff, and
Yeah.
zero, nothing. Okay. So
And
Joe,
they are a good band. Like, you know, I think they're one of those like 70s rock bands where there's like a whole bunch of bands. Like, if you listen to like Black Betty, you would expect the rest of their songs to be quite sort of left field like that, but they're kind of like a southern rock type thing.
yes,
like,
yeah,
you know,
yeah,
so-
you're spot on.
Yeah, very much. Yeah.
I bought the CD. Years and years ago, and nothing as good as Black Betty. They're kind of a bit like Skinner, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Joe, give us one.
What about Mr. Big, To Be With You?
Oh, fuck off.
Jesus.
Fucking Jesus Christ. It's going to be
Oh, look,
stuck in my head for the
Don't
whole
bring
night
him
now.
into this. I'm already singing Black Betty. Like,
No,
This was
Joe, how could you do this?
Well, this was kind of like how a lot of these bands, you know, this is how they made their dollar, really. It was like, I think, who did 5-man acoustic jams? Tesla or whatever? But it was a huge thing around this period, was like kind of established heavy metal bands, whatever, would do an acoustic ballad that was aimed at girls and stuff like that, you know?
it was
And,
always like track 7 on the album. Like,
yeah. But it worked really well for them. Like, they kind of had another hit with a cover Cat Stevens song.
Worse
which
again.
Is,
Oh,
Wild
fuck's
World or
sake.
something like that. But, and like, you know, I totally get what you mean about that, Richie, because I'm a huge Mr. Big fan, and like, I don't really like it whenever they go into the soft kind of pretty side, but it was their biggest hit, so here we
Did
are
you see
talking
them
about
in
it.
Bloodstock, Danielle?
No, I don't even know what the song you're talking about is, to be honest.
What?
Yeah, I've
Are
heard,
you shitting me?
loads. No, I've heard Mr. Big loads mentioned. but
I'm not
no.
going to sing it because it's stuck in my fucking head
What's the
anyway.
name of the song?
Joe,
To Be With You by Mr. Big.
you definitely do. Do we have to sing it?
It doesn't.
Go
It
on,
doesn't
Joe.
go
sound like
on, Richie,
something.
sing
Go
it.
on,
Like,
Joe.
if it's in your head, like,
I'm the one who wants to be
This class,
with
I'll die
you.
dancing.
You never fucking heard that, and you made me fucking sing it.
we just want
I
to do the
never
dad
heard that.
dance.
Deep inside, I hope to be with you. Fuck you, Joe.
Baby,
Probably gonna have to give them royalties now out of that, man. You did more than 7 seconds of it.
it definitely wasn't born when that came
Someone's
out.
going
Like,
to take this in isolation now and fuck me up over it. Oh,
Well, we
my
definitely
God.
have the fucking clip you're using for, for Instagram.
I hate you, Joe. But anyway, so I watched that being played live in Bloodstock the last year we were there, because they played there, Mr. Big.
yeah, they did.
And we were at the Lemmy fucking beer tent going, oh, fucking hell. I can't believe
Did you not enjoy the rest of their rockin' set now?
it. Oh, Joe, I didn't.
There's a bone of contention, man.
Yeah.
Happiness.
Anyway,
Sure,
Evan,
look.
erase that, please. Get us thinking of something
you
else.
know, the very first thing when you sent us that message being like, right, or when Danielle was like, how about this? Very first song that came to my head is, do you remember the band A? Do you remember that song?
Nothing.
But you ain't got that, then you ain't got nothing. Give me some skin. Give me
That's a great one. I never saw that.
It's a fucking banger, and I've like listened to it about 4 or 5 times since. It's so
You actually
good.
you look like a singer.
I know, yeah. Loads of the bands that I fucking started thinking of, I was looking at being like, I haven't grown up at all, have I? That's an absolute fucking banger. And I remember as well, because back then, like when that song came out, I didn't have internet, like really. And I even remember like it was like calling your band A, now that there's YouTube and stuff, was such a fucking dose if you didn't know the name of the song, because like I was just searching a band into YouTube, like trying to find it. Thank God I knew the name of the song. But I listened to the album and like there's some good songs on it, but like that tune was everywhere you went was like fucking riff, like
Class.
yeah.
Oh, I
I remember,
that.
see, all real, like
Yeah, me and Joe. Yeah. Okay,
Yeah,
Danielle.
What to choose from my list here now?
You have to sing it now at this stage. Just karaoke fucking boredoms.
Yeah, we might as well. Give me some skin.
Evan will definitely know this one, and I don't know about the rest of you, but American Head Charge.
Oh yeah, dirt, so dirty.
Yeah.
Is it dirty?
No, just so you know. Just so you know was their big one.
Oh Jesus, yeah. Fucking hell.
That was such a tune. And all it was something
deeper. There was a guy, Peter Flynn, and he's a fucking amazing musician from Kilkenny. But any time that I heard American Head Charge, I just was reminded of him, and still am to this day. Like they were like, I remember it was either like it was like kind of choosing between Mudvayne and American Head Charge, and I was like,
War of Art.
Yeah, that was it, because they just seemed so fucking similar to me. But yeah, that and Dirty. But
Actually,
I think after that I don't know what happened to them.
There's one of mine now. You kind of half got it. Wheatus, Teenage Dirtbag.
Oh yeah.
Do you
Absolutely,
know what, Richie? I seen Wheatus in UL.
Cork.
In UL for Freshers Week. That's where they are now. I got a picture of myself
Free
in
Cork.
Played Muri there a couple of years ago as well, so not too
They
bad.
had an electric drum kit as well, I think. Yeah.
It's sad when you see bands.
Tickets to
Iron Maiden, baby. Come with me Friday, don't say maybe.
That's actually.
Come on, Sarah. Because I'm just...
Joe.
And look at you lads, didn't even get tickets for Iron Maiden. He's on about. Like. I'm gonna upset Richie even more. What about More Than Words by Extreme?
Oh, fuck
I was
off,
thinking
for
that when you said the last
fuck's
one. More than that. Come on, Sarah. Go on.
So, like, the idea again behind all this was that like everyone would go and get their hair done, and it would be a black and white video of them all hanging around with tambourines, like trying to be as nice as possible. Like,
As most
Evan,
metal
can you
bands
turn
do,
down
like-
your mic a bit? It's just really loud.
No, I think I'm just too loud.
All right, yeah, go on.
I was eating it there.
but you know what? I think it's actually a bit of a shame that there isn't a bit more of this going on. Like, do you remember whenever Nothing Else Matters come out? No, well, like, I think it'd be better to see more bands doing that kind of stuff, like as in trying to do something, do an acoustic song or do something different.
Did Exodus ever do one of them?
Who?
Exodus.
No, but they brought out some shit albums. So
I think the last kind of band I remember doing like acoustic stuff, metal band, and it was probably Killswitch Engage. I remember it was like that was kind of the last, like it was like the end of Heartache, but that was like they had an acoustic song on that album, and then I think like kind of after that people kind of just stopped. I know Slipknot had fucking shit. Yeah.
Bands like
beautiful
have
song.
done it, like Incubus and stuff like that.
Yeah, but
usually
that's
get
not
that.
out of
Jesus.
character. That I wouldn't say that's out of character for Incubus.
How
Like, I
did
love
they get
Incubus.
away with that? Because fucking Incubus were the Florida death metal fucking band.
No, that's a different Incubus.
Yeah, it's a
obviously.
different Incubus.
That's
yeah.
I know,
But
but
I-
how did
I
they
do
get away
remember
with that?
Just like
Because I
the
think
same as
that
the way there
Incubus
was,
were done. Like,
Thin Lizzy, and then, or not Thin Lizzy, Skid
Fat
Row,
Lizzy.
and then famous Skid Row.
yeah.
Or Blink-182.
Oh, yeah, the Irish band Blink. Yeah.
Okay, that's another thing. Okay, so fucking Joe with his soppy fucking romance.
Oh, come on.
Evan,
There was one now again. I think this was like the day of when Jackass was big and fucking
okay.
with CKY 96 Quite Bitter Beings.
Yeah. Would you believe I actually seen them in Dublin there a few years ago?
Would you believe I've actually been listening to him again recently? down, no, digga. But yeah, I think because of Jackass and Bam Jer and stuff, that was fucking
Everywhere.
massive. I remember being in an airport and just seeing a CKY album and being like, oh, I have to get it. I didn't know what the name of the song was because again I had no internet. And I remember being on the flight, listening to it, being like, "Oh, this must be the song." But I bought the wrong album, But it was still a great album, but they've just never hit that kind of level. Do you know what I mean?
I think the ultimate test of if you have had a one-hit wonder and you're still going and you should just give up is when you play the song twice in your set.
Whoa.
I've seen
got
some bands do that, and they've been delighted.
Examples, come on.
Europe, the final countdown, twice.
Jesus Christ.
I can't hear that song without
Actually,
hearing those fail videos of it's playing
Does anyone watch Arrested Development? And anytime one of them is doing a magic trick, he's like a magician. It's always
Jesus, they're probably one of the biggest one-hit wonders. They've never had a proper hit as big as that, surely.
You don't need another one. You don't need another one.
Nothing in the
You
same
live off that forever.
You definitely could. I'd say they fucking live off it.
Yeah, well, if they're
So
playing it
is that
twice
your
in a
one,
set-
Danielle, or did you just come
No,
across?
I just thought of that there.
That's probably the best one so far.
Yeah, do you want another one?
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, fucking
Something
lay
that
it
we
on us.
myself and Joe might know.
Oh no, you should know this one. Bodies by Drowning Pool.
Yeah. That's
yeah.
a good one, yeah.
Yeah,
He died,
yes.
the singer, though.
He did.
Yeah,
he had a heart
he did,
condition. Yeah, and they
Was it a
kept
heart
going with him.
condition? He died on the bus, or am I getting him mixed up with? A lot of them died on buses.
They played at Ozless Fest, didn't they, in 2001 in Dublin?
Oh,
They
did
did.
they did?
Yeah, and your man was all like, "Us guys from Texas and you Irish people got something in common. We all like fucking." And you're like, there's new babies being born every day. He's not wrong,
Yeah. How did you know? How did you know we like to do that?
Was Let the Bodies Hit the Floor not by them as well? No, or was that by
That's the
Same
song.
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 Oh, who am I thinking of? Fucking
Europe.
no, it's some other horrendous new metal band that has a song like that. Oh, Down with the Sickness, is that by them?
Oh,
no,
Disturbed.
that's
That's
Disturbed.
another great one. Yeah.
Ah, no,
That's-
Disturbed are still big. Disturbed are the Sound of Silence.
Yeah, but they're a fucking meme. You know.
They had that thing like
my.
Marilyn Manson, didn't they? Where it's like they did The Sound of Silence and then Shout by Tears for Fears, where they're kind of like all of our new
That
songs
Sound
are
of
covers
Silence
of,
thing was
covers of other songs.
Did they do Shout as well?
They did Shout in their first
As I
album.
know, me and you are big Tears for Fear fans. Did they
Yep.
do a good version of it? No.
probably not.
Oh, I
No.
thought it was alright.
Did you hear Sound
I
of
like
Music?
them.
Did you hear them doing Sound of Music?
Sound of Music, Sound of Silence.
I tell you,
Sound of Silence.
Alive! That'd be great.
The sound of.
can you imagine if I fucking came up with that? Oh, fuck you, Evan. That's a class.
B&B sorted.
Brilliant, the Sound of Music. Oh. Climb any mountain.
It's sick.
Oh, with the sound of.
Oh, Jesus. Do you remember, in that song, Sounds of, or what's it called?
Bernadette, nerd.
Sound of silence.
Sound of silence. For fuck's sake.
Sound of Music is a great tune, though.
Yeah.
What were we talking about?
Jesus Christ. I have one. Joe would probably only know this one. Blind Delusion, The Sane Asylum.
Yeah, it's pretty much the opposite of a hit, though. Like, isn't it? Like, it's just they had one album, didn't they? Like, I don't think they were fucking remotely popular, were they? Like,
Joe, man, they were. You know, fucking Larry from fucking Larry Lamond, fucking Les Claypool all came out of that band, you know, for Primus.
Yeah, like
What band's this?
Blind Delusion. Mm-hmm.
They're still on the go. Like your man, what's the main guitar player? He played in Blue Oyster Cult and a bunch of other things.
That's right. Yeah, I can't remember.
Yeah, like I suppose this one of them things, isn't it? Where like there was just basically like bands like that. If they had been around 5 years earlier, probably could have had a bit more of a following. You know, people are probably just right without enough bands from the Bay Area.
I think that was released 89, 90 from as far.
And it was on one of the Speed Kills compilations and stuff. That's where I heard it anyway. Yeah,
I have as I said, I've said it before. I have a Japanese import of that which I never opened, so it's worth a few bob now. Anyway, Warrant Cherry Pie.
Of course, yeah.
There's another classic.
A good one, yeah.
And like, I think there is something about that particular period, you know. And it's probably more record company pressure because, you know, bands like Guns N' Roses or whoever were having big success. And a lot of their kind of semi-contemporaries or any band even remotely like them on a big label, the label guys were like, right, you guys are going to have to wuss out immediately. Wuss out on stat. Like a good one, Queensryche, Silent Lucidity. Like it was a big like radio hit in America and stuff. And like they never even had another top 40 or 50 song, like, you know.
Yeah, there was I could name a few Queensryche fans. They're a band again that I never got into. I think it was just the high pitch vocals. Not a fan.
A lot of Cork musicians play with the singer
Jeff Tate. Yeah,
they had a lot of guys from Cork.
Yeah, he does that kind of thing, as same as, you know, the dudes out Iron Maiden, Blaze Bailey and Paul Di'Anno, where he'll just hire fucking dudes, anyone who's around.
He's recorded a lot down in Claycastle Studios in Youghal. Shout out to Warren.
Warren's a legend.
Yeah. Evan, go on, give us another one.
Another one I thought as well was, do you remember Heaven is a Half Pipe?
Yeah.
Heaven is a Half Pipe.
Who signed that?
OPM. And I put it on once, and it was again one of the first ones I thought of, and I fucking knew half the words still. Like I was giving it socks, like between that and then Nothing by A, I was like,
Heaven is a Half Pipe. Yeah, there was a whole scene kind of came out around that time of all that kind of similar enough.
Yeah,
kind of mixing kind of with rap and kind of.
I was just going to say, Evan was definitely a product of that. If you were caught up on that, like
in school, like now I didn't like none of the fucking older lads. Like obviously they weren't very smart, you know. But they used to come up to me and goes, Evan is a half pipe.
Half pipe or ass wipe, did you say?
Half pipe, but they should have done ass wipe. That would have been way better. You know, they're doing fuck all now. I'm not doing much either, but
at least you're on the internet though.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah. Most of them are in jail now.
Fucking hell, I'm still recovering after the sound of music. Danielle.
Let me see. So, Soil, Halo.
I've heard this
I will stone you, wrap my arms around you, my little Halo.
That Johnny Cash. Daniel's gone all country on us.
So, lads, if anyone wants me on their team for the All Ireland metal thing, available.
Available for singing.
I need a week extension though.
Oh my god. Green Jelly, Three Little Pigs.
Oh, what a fucking banger. I actually love that band. So, because I actually searched just out of curiosity, being like, you know, like, oh, one hit wonders thing, and they came up on it. That Three Little Pigs tune, we used to go
Mental.
back,
I remember when it came
go back
out.
to houses
God,
and
what the fuck?
that song wasn't like, will we put that song on? Is when is that song going to come on when we're back in the house at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning? And when are we all just going to go, little pig, let me. Yeah.
Mental, like.
Banger, like.
I remember that on Top of the Pops. It came on Top of the Pops.
Was it fuck?
It was, yeah. Fact. Fuck's sake. And they appeared on it too.
I barely had a TV. Man, I was deprived. Look at the state of me now. You should have given me something, man.
Well, Faith No More were kind of the same, weren't they? Because, like, what do you call it was on Top of the Pops? Epic.
Epic, yeah.
And none of the other tunes were, like, big hits. Although, I guess, like, in metal and stuff like that, a big career.
It's like their worst song.
It's weird, isn't it? Like, because, like, I suppose there's a different thing for metal bands who've continued having a normal metal career, but very briefly were huge in the mainstream. Like, you know, The Darkness, like, were massive for that one album, and then they went back, or like even Therapy, like for Trouble Gum, it was like a huge international thing, and then it went back to being just kind of alternative
I would
fans.
see like the opposite, like with Bring Me the Horizon, where they were like a big metal band for, well, they were a metal band for years, and now they've gone mainstream. Kind of
and I think with them as well, I remember like I kind of like wasn't into them.
I'm surprised by that.
There was a few times now I'd sit in a friend's van and be like, what do you think of this? I'm like, fuck, that's class. And they go, that's Bring Me the Horizon. I'm like, oh, cool.
They're class. Yeah.
Well, I have friends from, like, Dan from Chemical Addiction not long ago sent me one of their new songs and was like, look, just drop your fucking whatever you think. It's good. And I was like, all right, I'll listen to it. It's fucking catchy. It's poppy, but it still has that heavier element. I think they're one of those bands now that have like, they're going to win anyway. Like people that were like, oh, whatever, not into them. Like you can't not but respect the fact, the level they've got, and like how good they've gotten at what they do as well. Like I'm like, yeah, fucking.
They're one of those bands that they'll probably be headlining, like download in 15 years. You know.
Oh, they're probably
they're headline now, I'd say.
Yeah, they're not far off if they're
they
not
were,
Like,
I think they're kind of more going for almost Reading Leeds kind of a vibe now, like BBC.
Couldn't name
Radio
a song
1
or album by.
I tell you one thing though, Sempiternal. If you want to listen to a good album, throw on Sempiternal by Bring Me the Horizon, and
there used to be like fucking crabcore, like.
They were. I didn't. Yeah.
Pop like.
Basically, he got addicted to ketamine and overcame it, and they wrote a great album. So he just needs to go back on that.
Fucking hate
that's like another episode, isn't it? Like, you know, people who were on drugs and then come out the other end. You know.
Yeah, we should all take drugs and talk about musicians that were on drugs and just judge.
We should all take drugs and listen to Brute.
Yeah, that'd be unreal.
We should all take drugs.
Yeah, we should just take drugs.
I've got another one there. They're not fucking metal, but it was still a big occasion when they came out and everybody was going, fucking hell, Babylon Zoo, Spaceman.
Spaceman. What a tune.
What did you know? Spaceman.
Yeah,
it's a great fucking song when you're drunk, man. If that comes on,
if your jaw is in your eyebrows, that's the tune. Like, you're cleaning your eyebrows with your bottom teeth. That's the one to put on.
Tune the forehead off yourself.
What was the era of, like, there was a lot of stuff like Free Colours Red had a bit of a one-hit wonder around then.
Yeah.
Pitch Shifter had a bit of a one-hit wonder.
Pitch Shifter, yeah.
Absolutely. And all that was kind of, well, I wouldn't really describe it as industrial, but it was kind of slightly industrially twinged, kind of like metal.
Production it was a lot to do with the production at that time.
Fucking what's it called? Sure, Nail Bomb as well had an album out then, and just did release one album. Max Cavalera and Your Man Out of Fudge Tunnel. Alex
and
Newport,
you would say Temple of the Dog, similar thing. Like one album was huge.
I played that today. Would you believe that? Hunger Strike. I played that today.
Come out recently, it was out how many years?
Don't know.
90. It was 91, I think, was it, or 92?
Yeah, so it's 30 years this year that album is out.
Yeah. That song itself.
I don't mind.
All right, Evan, there's people listening.
That's the whole point. From the mouth of Decker down.
Karaoke.
Irish bands that sing like that. So you don't.
The Seattle grunge experience, actually. I saw them in Fred's, and they were fucking not Fred's. Sorry,
Cypress Avenue.
Cypress Avenue. I was at that, man. That was fucking
so
great
was I.
night. Were you
Oh,
there?
I was
that was
fucking,
class.
I was
slagging off Lugosi on here for singing American accents, and then they messaged me being all like, our singer is actually American. And I was like,
That was a running joke in the interview with him.
Yeah.
But when they were saying it, I didn't know which one of you said it. I was thinking, it's either
the handsome guy.
that shows his arse on television. Fuck's sake.
Going back to that, even like it's weird, like reviewing bands. I'm always like fucking. I think at the start of it, you'd nearly be afraid to say something, but I mean, like, you know, don't put a song out to get reviewed if you only want someone to lick your arse. But like, to be fair to every single band, anyone that's messaged me as has been like so fucking sound, being like, yeah, thanks a million for whatever. Like, no one's been like butthurt about anything, which is cool, because the first band that kind of gets butthurt about it is like, fucking get over yourself. Like, but absolutely every band has been dead on, like, you know, and that's actually good to see, because I've been in bands with people that I'm not in those bands anymore now, but like, you know, if they heard someone doesn't like your music, it was fucking, you have insulted my entire family. I was like, Jesus Christ. Like, it's like, did you decide you were going to start a band to be the only band ever that is universally liked by everybody? Like, you know? But
look, if there is a shit track comes up for us to review, we'll try and steer them in the right direction. We will give them the positives.
Yeah,
you know?
I'm always like, I might listen to the track and be like, that's fucking shite, but I'll never say it.
No, I like that. I definitely say what I think of it anyway. Like, the thing is, like, when we release our EP, just people are going to think it's fucking shit. So, but like, it is what it is. It's shit. So, fuck it, like.
It's going to sound really dated by the time it comes out, man. People will be all like, about this.
Loads of 808s and it just goes really low. Could you imagine anything that I said I didn't like from other songs are all in it? Yeah.
Oh, man. Have you any other self-hating
guys, huh?
Any other classic one hits before we wind it up?
Crazy Train, Butterfly.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
That's on my one as well, Danielle. Yeah, Crazy Train.
Dark Horse, though. They had one tune, Dark Horse, that was, I remember hearing it years ago, being like, oh, these guys they were on, they had a tune on a Matt Hoffman game that I thought, Toxic, I think. Toxic! Yeah! I can't remember how it goes now, but.
They played Ireland, done lately. Crazy.
Again, they played fucking Yuri, man, so.
There you go.
It's always a bad sign, like, if bands are...
Yeah.
I was actually going to put down Alien Ant Farm, but...
I had Alien Ant Farm down.
I saw them in Dolan's, and they were fucking outstanding.
That was with POD as well.
Yeah, what a gig
that was. Down, actually.
I heard nothing but good things about that.
Jesus Christ, two bands fucking
I love Alien Ant
it.
Farm. Like, I listen to them every so often still. Like,
I wouldn't know anything by him. I went to see POD. And
I saw them down
probably
actually.
better.
So alive.
Yeah, that's a great song actually.
Yeah.
But that was like when that came out. I remember, like, you know, you'd buy an album and you'd know the track list off by heart, because I remember being in school saying, "Oh, yeah, I got the album," and for some reason, you know, someone will go, "No, you don't," and I was like, "Yeah, I do." So I just named off the track list, like what song comes after each, and he's like, "Oh, right, okay, you do." Not just like having to take someone's word for being like, "Yeah, I have that album."
God, that's so much fun.
Yeah,
such a trickster.
And growing up in Kilkenny was class.
Fucking nerd.
Evan was a half pipe. It was like.
All I got was Slipknot.
Slipknot or Slipknot?
Slipknot. That's what people called me. Slipknot.
We used to get called wobbly heads up here. That was the phrase.
Wobbly heads. That's fucking
wobbly heads.
Or the goths. Oh, you're one of the goths.
You're a goth. You should be, you fucking scumbag.
You weren't a goth, Danielle.
No, I wasn't, but they referred to me as a goth because I wore a black hoodie.
But you know what the weird thing was? Like, there was a time, I don't know, I'd say this was everywhere, not just Kilkenny, but like the scumbags and the goths or the moshers all skated. Like, there was a time where absolutely everyone skated, but then everyone like would veer off Like you'd be lads like skating in all black, and then lads skating in Adidas tracksuits. Do you know? There was that perfect thing where everyone just unified.
Sounds like West Side Story.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
The Jets.
Oh, fuck me. We had the Jets in our town, yeah. These fucking Jets. And they always had the American football fucking jackets, the ones with the leather sleeves and the fucking Y for Yale.
You get your head kicked in if you were dressed like that in Kilkenny.
You would in Charlotte
man.
too, yeah.
Us going around with our denim jackets with our Maiden back patches.
Fáilte Ireland should get into
Did I say that? I mean, Metallica back patches, Motorhead patches. There was no fucking Iron Maiden back patches.
Yeah, I've heard.
There were like horrendous ones like Holy Smoke or whatever.
Yeah.
Fuck
Danielle, I don't know if you've got this, but a lot of my friends, like girls, have kind of gone. You know, in school they get bullied. You know, for having a Marilyn Manson t-shirt, blah blah blah. But all the people that like have bullied them years ago are like these like Instagram influencers, and what's super fucking in right now is like vintage band t-shirts, or like what is it, like what they call it, something e-girls or something. But they dress like they, you know, like what, like kind of early 2000s new metal kind of thing, and that's like a fashionable thing, but they wouldn't fucking listen to any of it. And like, you know, after ripping the piss out of people when they were kids, now doing this, looking at that is just like,
it's not. Yeah, I've seen like
weird,
a lot of,
isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, like you can go into like H&M now and buy like a Metallica t-shirt and stuff.
Yeah,
like
I saw
that.
loads of Nirvana ones, like with the happy face by the H&M
Yeah.
on Grand Parade.
Or
yeah,
like
I got
even
a
Slayer
Ride the
and stuff.
Lightning t-shirt in H&M. Happy enough to buy it. It was on sale for like $12. Oh, wow.
I got like a Black Sabbath, and they had Slipknot like kind of like t-shirt vests in pennies before. You know,
I actually think that's a good thing, you know, because like whenever you see people talking about, you know, like Sepultura talking about getting into Iron Maiden or Motorhead, they were like, oh, we'd never heard the music before, we were buying it just because the album cover looked cool. That's the same with like videos in the 80s, like people will be renting out videos from video shops because the cover looked cool, and I think it's the same with,
man.
You'd be getting like wee kids going into Primark and being all like, oh, class, you know, Iron Maiden or whatever. So
it is. It's great for me because I can go in and get like a fucking €8 Metallica top. I'm delighted, you know.
I just love going in, getting the same pair of pants, same pair of jocks over and over until they fucking fall off me.
Yeah.
But like
you can wear them inside out, man, and then they last for 2
That's what I mean, fall off, like as in break in half.
Yeah, but where do you draw the line? Because there's Metallica ones I saw in there as well with fucking jewels in them.
Oh,
I'd probably draw the line at a Metallica t-shirt.
Hey.
You cool for school. Lars is no good at drums.
That's another discussion.
We're programmed, man.
Lars is not any good at the drums, man.
Everybody keeps asking me to do a fucking Metallica forum session.
Now we'll have to do this some kind of monster one, man. We need to have an in-depth 2.5 hour discussion about their hair day and all that kind of shit.
Genuinely, I have had some kind of monster conversations about 6 or 7 times in the last. I was talking to Jack about it recently, just talking about some kind of monster.
I must rewatch it.
You should nearly just fucking do a stream and watch it on the stream, like.
Yep.
That would be funny, actually.
Along for that.
And we should each dress as a member.
Well, I know who I'm going to be. It's not going to be Lars.
I'll be Robert Trujillo just because the wig.
Well, you've got the Lars haircut, Danielle. I think you can shit for Thomas. So. Well, it's not because you've sold millions of records.
Because I'm shit at drums. Yeah, I'll take it. You know, I play drums.
Danielle, you can be Kurt.
I suppose.
Don't be so fucking enthusiastic.
This is about music, guys.
Kirky at the moment, you know.
I'm feeling it, you know. I'm just gonna go watch my horror movies and surf.
Richie, there was another topic that you had that I was actually I'm buzzing for. Do you want to do?
Where are they now?
Yeah.
We'll put that in the next one.
Oh, will we?
Yeah,
that sounds good.
Definitely. Yeah, there's a lot of bands there, man.
Yeah.
Where are they now?
Yeah.
Dundasta.
Yeah. Okay, listen, let's end it, and thanks everybody for listening. That was a great fucking laugh, in fairness. Evan got owned 2 or 3 times as well.
That's what people listen to. That's the exact reason people. I want to hear him get fucking roasted. And the right
Well,
too.
now, in fairness, Sound of Music, man. Danielle, fair play to you for catching that. That was a classic. Man. So you've been listening to the Metal Cell Forums. Thanks again, Danielle, Evan and Joe Fairfox. And check out all the bands that we reviewed tonight. Definitely worth checking. They're fucking great. And keep supporting Irish metal. Cool, lads.